Collective, hey, what is going on? Happy new full moon, full moon in Virgo. Welcome into the channel. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to be looking at the energy surrounding the full moon lunar eclipse via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We are in the throes of eclipse season. We had a solar eclipse on the new moon in Aquarius. Now we're in Pisces season and we're having this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. So Virgo is the energy of health, well-being, finding balance, taking care of ourselves, our mind, body, soul. We've been seeing this theme a lot in the collective lately, where the changes that are happening are really forcing us to look at what is actually serving you, what is good for you, what is honoring you, and actually adding value to your life versus the things where people might try to manipulate or get one over, or a relationship situation isn't for your highest and best type thing. A lot of that is being highlighted right now as well because Mercury is in retrograde through the 20th, and it's tensely aspected to Venus, Mars, which is that masculine feminine dance, and then the sun, our ego. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot to pay attention to. And with lunar eclipses, we get the opportunity, to do some internal reflection, internal change. Solar eclipse is about external change, change in our environment. And lunar eclipses, when we, especially with this one, where we really have to go and take some inventory, but making sure that we're thinking our way through it, like actually processing what's going on for you and not just assuming. That can get us into a lot of trouble right now, especially if you are in a situation where there is a lot of conflict or unresolved, or you just can't see eye to eye with someone. Those are all really difficult things to navigate through because there is this energy of stubbornness. We're seeing that with Uranus and Taurus, where we're being forced to work with what we got, right? Like, we have to deal with things in front of us. It's not like we're getting in a lot of new opportunities, etc., different channels of change. It's more like, no, you got to figure out how to deal with this and make change. So it's a little bit much. It's a little much. But that's why I like to start off the readings with an energy cleansing, just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really good time for you to set your own intention as well, especially if you've come in with something on your heart, on your mind, something you would like spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over. Be open to receive. It really is a great way to personalize these collective readings. I also do personal readings. Sorry, I'm just bringing up my chart. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're interested in more of a realignment of self, your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we're aligned in self, when we're feeling strong, grounded in who and what we are, that's really where we're operating from our best, right? That's where we're able to connect with happiness, fulfillment, abundance, etc. And I would love to help support that in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love, Mama. All right, so I feel like your energy is kind of waiting. The sacred boundaries is at the bottom of the deck. I think that came up. Oh, I didn't even, sorry. My life has been a little crazy and I have been teetering on not feeling well. So I'm a little behind on videos, etc. But that did come up in our collective reading yesterday. I just didn't post it. So, but you know, like that's what I'm kind of hearing, or what I'm picking up from your energy is just like this waiting and watching to see how things unfold. Then the full moon isn't incredibly tense. There are some tense aspects to it. We have a lot of support with Jupiter, and then also that cluster I've been talking about lately, the Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto cluster. And it's all clustered with, I should say, Saturn, which is helping us to do that processing that I was talking about earlier, really kind of putting ourselves in a position where we're not going into default mode. And I think that's going to be the hardest thing about this full moon, is that the way that it's showing up in Virgo, we have the full moon, then we have the vertex point and the south node are all in conjunction, basically on top of each other within a few degrees. And so it kind of talks about how we can default back to patterns, ingrained patterns. South node is our karma. It's the things maybe we don't really want to like learn and grow out of. And that's also why this full moon, or why full moons intensify energy, bring up a lot of intensity, because it is highlighting those places that we might be a little apathetic or lethargic. We're also seeing that with Jupiter in retrograde in Cancer, which is aspected to this this full moon. Excuse me, I keep wanting to say new moon. I don't know why I keep getting them switched up. It's not intentional, so please forgive me in advance. So inner truth, again, really driving home that point I was just talking about, making sure that you are going within, that you're listening to what your inner truth is. And I'm hearing this, it's not necessarily what you think other people want you to do or what you think you should do because of what other people are saying. This is actually getting really clear on what your truth is and how you are going to be proceeding forward, especially around those places that can be a little bit challenging right now. We're where we want to see movement and it's not happening, it's getting frustrating, or even where we're seeing movement and we don't want that movement to happen, that's also equally as frustrating. And we're seeing that with the tension between Mars and Uranus, like I was talking about. So Spirit's really talking about you taking time for yourself, nourishment while waiting. There are something within yourself that you do need to bring some resolution around, inner conflict resolution. So again, why it's important to move. It's not even about moving slowly, it's about moving intentionally, is what I'll say, right? That's really going to be our best friend right now. Making sure, even if it is things that are hard to look at, carve out some time for yourself today, over the next couple days. Full moon energy lingers a little bit before, a little bit after. So you're probably feeling the effects of it. It's also been a little bit emotional. Sacred boundaries is in our blocked energy. So you might be very self-protective in this time. And I'm feeling like a lot of the places that we are getting tripped up, again, is more, it's more about our own stubbornness. And I don't say that directly towards you in a mean way. Everyone's dealing with it. It's those places that we get really resistant, or I don't want to see eye to eye with someone. I don't want to give them the benefit of the doubt, however that shakes out. I'm seeing this is definitely a full moon where it's more about you and less about your relationships, less about the other people that are surrounding you, because you are, again, this is making it very clear on what direction you're moving forward with the Fool. We have the Destiny Path card, which I feel like that's where this inner conflict resolution is really going to benefit you. And again, it's not as much about pointing the finger and blaming someone else. Yes, that could be totally justified. Someone could be doing something really shitty or not being fair, being really difficult, etc. And that is justified. In your external energy, it's someone who's acting foolish. And while maybe trying to show up a little bit differently, we'll see how the cards play out. It still feels a little bit off. And that's the energy I keep picking up. Not necessarily from you, but from outside of you. Like, that's why you're waiting. That's why you're waiting and watching to see how things unfold. And at the same time, I like this. Six of Wands energy is talking about how you're really pushing forward in your own success, the goals that you have set up. But there's still a lot in the background that's coming together. That's part of the changes that we're not seeing. And again, that's why this full moon is offering you the opportunity to go within, to be a little bit more self-reflective. And this isn't about, like, again, giving someone or something a hall pass. I feel like this is more about you being at peace with what's going on, whether someone's doing you dirty. You know, we have the snake at the bottom of that card. The Nine of Pentacles popped out. Someone, something, not really caring, not really being involved, putting their own wants and needs first. And that's why you're showing up as this Six of Wands energy, right? Well, if they're going to do that, then I'm going to do that for me type vibe. So it is bringing a little bit of a push and pull, which is what we see with the full moon. We have the Page of Cups in the blocked energy. So again, attesting to that foolishness that's around you, the Ten of Swords, repeated cycles and behaviors, maybe not taking into account everyone, everything involved. Getting, like, sorry, I hear getting a grip, like being a little bit more balanced within yourself. And that's a really hard thing to do, especially because I was talking about in the very beginning, Virgo is our health and our well-being, but we have that south node there. So it's easy to go back to those default patternings or making choices that, like, just might not be that great for ourselves. So be really mindful with what you choose. Full moons always amp things up. So it can be so easy to just, like, get all upset, all frustrated about something and unleash, or, you know, hold these really strong, stringent boundaries, which, again, I don't know that that's necessarily bad. There's a reason you have them up. It's making it, okay, with this Three of Pentacles, it's making it a little bit hard to work together. And again, this goes back to that Mars and Uranus transit that we're seeing, the tension, because again, it's either we're like, well, I don't want to deal with this, or I don't want to deal with you, or I'm not going to listen, or, you know, we can't get that out of someone else. It is a little bit about being on top, you know, a little control, a little bit of, like I said, that tug of war. But I think that that's also where you need to get really clear on, like, what you need for yourself, because it does kind of look like, I'm going to clarify this energy a little bit more. What you're dealing with, I think maybe it's not so nice, but someone, something is trying. And I think this is after a time of them being foolish, of them being really difficult, of, you know, whatever that is, whatever kind of disconnect and frustration has been going on. I do see someone trying to change it, trying to turn it around. You could be dealing with a King of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. It doesn't have to be. This is someone who definitely likes the control, and they want to do it their own way, is what I'm seeing. So as much as maybe, okay, fresh start, blank slate, you know, whatever. They might not even be completely saying that to you. They might just be trying to show you. I don't know if you see it because you're kind of in your own world. For this full moon, it's about your own successes. But again, make sure that you're really keeping track of yourself. You know, be your own best friend today over the next couple days, because you're having a really hard time with something. Like, it's, I should say, Pisces season is very emotional. So emotions are already heightened. It's not, and full moons kind of add to that as well. We're also getting tension with the midhaven, which is how other people see us. It's how we want, it's not just our friends. This is more like on a grander scale, like community, the world around us, what the perception actually is. And you have spent some time being on the defensive. And I think you're really safeguarding towards whomever, whatever this King of Wands is. There might even be a few people that you're dealing with, because we also have this Queen of Swords as well popping up, who, I don't know, might not really be talking to you at this point, because we have this Nine of Pentacles, lots of nines, Nine of Cups, Nine of Wands, Nine of Pentacles all came out. So this is, again, highlighting the places that it's whatever is happening, the drama, the conflict, it's moving you in the right direction. I think you just have to get really clear on what it's going to look like for you moving forward. And I do feel like there is a little bit of some give and take that can happen that maybe you're not even seeing at this point, because you are very self-protected, and it is really hard for people to infiltrate you at this point. And again, that's not a bad thing. I don't look at it as a bad thing. Sometimes we can be too protective, but when emotions are running high, it makes it really difficult to like want to get stuck into something too deep. And I feel like you're pulling back your energy from someone or a group of people or a dynamic that there's a reason. There's a reason why. It's for your own sanity. It's your own peace and calm. And you've had to work really hard, and you're continuing to work really hard around the changes that you want and need to make for yourself. And it feels good. It feels positive. It feels affirming. It feels like you're moving in the right direction. But there also is, whatever you are making changes on, again, walk cautiously. Not because I'm telling you to be subservient to whatever this group of people are over here, per se. But it's like when you make certain decisions, you go into this self-protection mode. And I feel like this is about having sacred boundaries, but it might end up biting someone else in the butt. And I'm hearing there might be a little bit of backlash. Let me clarify. It does look like whatever you're dealing with, again, they're trying to make some efforts. The Hermit is talking about them, you know, doing some self-reflection on their own time. Whether it gets them anywhere, I don't know. It's to be determined, again, because there is a lot of, I think they want something more with you than you want with them, because I do see whatever this is making some type of offers, some type of olive branch, whether they're communicating it or not to you. At the same time, it's I don't know, you're not budging. You're not budging like at all. And I think it's you trying to sort out whatever you need to sort out, especially considering the dynamic moving forward. There is a lot of pain here. There's pain, there's sadness, there's some rejection. I feel like you're dealing with people or situations that aren't really understanding that part of it. Like, even if there was a fight or a disconnect and you spent time apart, they're just assuming that they can come back together, maybe not really address the issues and move on. But you're still sitting in this, well, this hurts. This is painful. This really sucked. And if you can't even address it or if we can't have an honest conversation, that's not fair to me. And I feel like that's where you're doing a lot of pushback, right? Like, you're really trying to find, it's not only about your inner truth, but it's about what you deserve, right? It's about what you're worthy of and the way that you share that with other people that are in your environment, in your life. Lots of sadness for you. I don't know. I think that that's the thing. And this makes a lot of sense. Okay, with the tower. Let's clarify because I hate leaving. I think you're making some hard decisions, and I think it is hard for some people to wrap their minds around. Again, there's like, I'm just picking up a lot of ignorance on their end, not really thinking things through or realizing, understanding the ramifications of, the choices in the past. Seven of Wands is a defensive energy. It's it also is needing to win, right? Like, taking a different vantage point. It's shows the guy in the original deck trying to get away from the men who are coming after him. Sorry, it sounded weird, but it's true. And so I feel like they've put you in a position that you've had to be defensive and you're not really ready to, like, release that, but there's a lot of pain that comes with that. And I think for whatever olive branches or whatever someone something is trying to make peace with you around, um, it's gonna take a lot of work, and I'm not even sure that you're really willing to go back down that road. That's what it looks like. But I also don't think you've gotten very clear about that within yourself. And I know that we can only do so much before we actually have the interaction, before we actually, like, have that conversation. There's only so much information you have to go on, etc. Only so many promises you can make to yourself until we really see what is being offered, right? But I think at the same time, it's really important for you right now to maintain yourself and nurture yourself and heal yourself in ways that are actually positive and aligning for your heart. The light of awareness. The light of awareness sharpens your intuition. And that's where I think some of the sacred boundaries or your boundaries just need to be a little bit more flexible, because when we don't have awareness, it makes it really hard to see truth, to see reality, and then to make choices about what our inner truth is going to be as well. Reflect and listen. Reflection brings insight. Take time to listen to your inner voice. So that's a huge theme for this full moon, is really listening to your inner voice. Not being afraid of conversations, not being afraid to let down your guard a little bit, trusting yourself, knowing that you do have the answers, you have the wisdom necessary to navigate some of these things that you are still feeling hurt around. The wisdom of the heart. The heart's wisdom speaks through intuition. Listen closely. Neptune is in Aries right now with Saturn. They're in conjunction. And I really love this because it goes back to how important our intuition is in this time, in this moment, right? Like, making sure that you are listening, right? But then also taking action steps accordingly. And that can be sometimes the hardest part, in my opinion, about our intuition, is actually taking those action steps, right? Trusting your gut instincts. But again, when we do, that also brings in that light of awareness because it helps confirm what we need to know. What it helps us strengthen our intuition, it helps us empower our intuition and ourselves at the same time. So make sure that you are carving out time for yourself. Try not to default back to certain coping mechanisms or things that just aren't very life-giving, you're going to need your strength. Remember, this nourishment while waiting, right? So while you're waiting for whatever this is to kind of come together and have some type of resolution, I feel like it's getting really clear on yourself and where you stand and what you think about these things. And then taking decisive action accordingly. Don't be afraid of what people want to bring to you, what they want to tell you, especially if there is tension and frustration. Just like let them say what they need to say, and then you can take a step back and process. I think conversations are important. They're good. It's going to help bridge some of the gaps, and it's also going to help us know where we do need to let go, where it is time to just be done with something, etc., so we can move forward. I really hope this reading helped. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Thank you so much for your time and energy always. I super appreciate you. I will be going live tonight. I got a lot of sleep last night, so hopefully I'll be up and running this evening as well. I really appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Just know I'm sending it back your way. Happy full moon. Take care of your heart, your mind, your soul, and I will see you this evening. Have a great day.